Hello everybody, back here again for another vlog a day, and today is Friday the 10th, and today was a gorgeous day outside. It was kind of beautifully warm, I guess. Rainy and stuff off and on. Temperature was so warm I didn't care. Definitely got a lot of ice and snow melted off, all that kind of junk we've been needing. Just rained, like I said, throughout the first part of the day. Pretty good. Rained hard enough there for a while that it was, kind of just, I don't know, almost felt like a spring rain the way it was raining down. But we had definitely a lot of that all day long, kind of hit and miss here and there. Ended up having the people come over who's in charge of the neighbor's estate. Him and his wife came over, went looking through some paperwork and stuff, and they couldn't find anything important that might help with her care and finishing out her estate and that kind of stuff. They didn't find anything worth anything that was going to be helpful to them. The rest of the family showed back up that wanted to come take stuff from there. They were supposedly after like memory type stuff, things that had meaning, but they took things like, benches and shelves and crap like that they could actually sell for money. They're just a screwy type people. The whole family's kind of messed up in the head. I just avoided them. I went and unlocked the door and stuff, let them deal with it, told the guy I didn't want them in the house alone. I just didn't trust them not to trash the place and that. They were there for, 3 or 4 hours, something like that, and they finally took off. They all left. The guy came over to sign over the paperwork, releasing basically the rest of her stuff, the junk, the garbage in there, to me, so I can basically, I don't want to throw it all in the dump and find out somebody sues me and says there was some great valuable thing in there that nobody else knew about and nobody could find. So he went ahead and signed that, and while he was up on the front porch, we were talking a little bit. The neighbor's family, one of the cars drove back by, the two that were there. Not sure which one it was because I didn't pay attention to who was driving what. And he hangs his head out the window and he's like, "We'll be back to get you, Pat." And he's like just a little fucking douchebag. And he's like, "We'll be back to get you." A couple times he drove by and stuff. And I didn't say shit. I just like, whatever. And I looked at the people that were, doing the estate, him and his wife. And I said, so if I was to want to, say, call the cop shop and make a report of that threat of that, are you two willing to, stay on the phone and say, "We also heard and saw this"? And his wife, just all chipper and happy and sweet, goes, "I didn't hear or see nothing." And it turned me wrong, because I'm sick and tired of this world of everybody, who claims they're good people, but she bold-faced lied right to me, and they won't stand up. I don't want to get involved. I don't want it to affect me any. And that's how we end up with things like the Holocaust. We end up with situations where everybody's like, "Well, I'm not Jewish. It doesn't affect me, so who cares what they do to them?" So I'm a big believer in the fact that if you don't stand up for an injustice, you might as well be doing that injustice yourself. Whether it be bullying, whether it be sexism, whether it be whatever. Reminds me of a time years ago I worked at a factory, and somebody had wrote on the dry board in there, "Nuke the gay whale." And I guess it was some line from some book, whatever, I thought was all funny. And there was at least 3 people in that factory that I knew they were gay, and I'm assuming many more next. It was a very decent-sized factory, and statistically, there's going to be gay people there. And it was up there, I heard, for about 4 days. I never went in the break room, that kind of thing, is where it was. We had a company meeting. I made a report to the main office, whatever, telling actually the president of the plant, I said, "You might want to take that down. It's very offensive, and I know there's homosexuals here in this factory. 3 of them I know personally that aren't out. Like, they weren't really openly gay and that kind of thing." I had a really good friend of mine who was an open gay that I knew for years. Actually, I would have considered probably my best friend for a while there. So I'd met them through that, but I wasn't outing anybody. I didn't say like that. And then it was one of those deals where I felt that if I didn't say nothing, I might as well have been calling them a fag myself. And I wasn't willing to do that. And I felt the same way here. This woman isn't one to stand up and say, this person made this remark, blah, blah, whatever. And I basically got pissed off, and I told her to get off my property. I said, if that's how you're going to react in life, and that's how you're going to behave, and you're not willing to do what's right for what needs to be done, you have the right to leave my property. And you now have no right to be back on it again. And then her husband got all pissy and kind of tried to get in my face a little bit, like I didn't have the right to talk to her. And I basically told her to get off my property, and that I have no time in my life for people who aren't willing to stand up for what's right. He then got pissy back and forth and whatnot and whatever. And I said, so are you willing to do the same thing? Did you hear or see nothing? Are you willing to actually get on the phone? And he goes, well, I think we need to sign these papers, blah, blah. So I'm afraid you're going to throw me off your property too. And I looked at him, I said, well, apparently you just answered my question. You're a cowardly little piece of crap as well. And he got pissy back and forth and whatnot and whatever. And I thought, he goes, well, I deal with them. And I was with them for a few hours. And except for the beginning where they're all assholes, they seem to be fairly pleasant. I'm like, okay, so the beginning part of dealing with them, they were assholes. And here at the end, they were clearly an asshole. Unevoked. I didn't say a word to them. I didn't do anything to that family at all. They're screwed up in the head. They're pissed off because, I don't know, they're just a weird family. But you've known me for about 6 months. I've bent over backwards to help you out in every single damn way possible. And yet you and your wife, neither one are willing to stand up and do anything for me, which would be helpful because it might offend those people that they might then call you. They have no idea who you are. They don't know where you live. They can't do anything to you. They know where I live. Clearly, they drove right by my damn house. I lived next to their grandmother and stuff for all these years. So obviously there's an issue there. They know where I'm at, but they wouldn't help me. So he got pissed. He signed the paperwork, told him to go have a good day and to go ahead and live his cowardly life somewhere else. So after that, I went ahead, ran to the store, got some different stuff done there. Hy-Vee had tenderloins on sale, so I picked up a couple tenderloins for Mom and I. We ended up having dinner together and that, and then I kind of just hung around, waited a while. I was going to take off and do my run this evening. I was going to go running about quarter till midnight, and then I was going to stop my watch at midnight, then do my run for tomorrow. It was like 9:30 or so, and I said to hell with it. Just went ahead and ran anyway. I'll go run tomorrow again. Not a big deal there. My run streak's still intact. Kind of wanted to just go out and blow off some steam, so I ended up knocking out lower 5K out there. Felt really good in the run. It was still kind of misty type crap. I was wet. My glasses were all wet and stuff in the rain, and I could see my breath. It was kind of weird, misty and snowing both at the same time. Super weird run, but had a good time. Like I said, knocked out over a 5K. Felt really good. Had negative splits, all that good stuff. Last mile was faster than the first mile. Negative splits. Anyway, that's the whole thing there. So I was just, I don't know, had a weird day dealing with that crap going on with them. And then I hate milquetoast people. I hate people who aren't willing to stand up when something's wrong, stand up for what's right, because it might affect them. I don't know. I think if I see somebody kicking a dog, I'm going to say something. If I see somebody's dog take a shit on the sidewalk in front of a Petco, like I did a few months back, and basically the guy just turns to walk back inside, and I yelled at the dude from I don't know, probably 60 yards away or so. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And it was one of those things where this dude was a big, muscle-bound little, muscle steroid freak. And I was like, I might have been kind of stupid. But I was like, oh, well. And I expected when I come back out of the store for him to be waiting there. He's like, oh, I got to go back in and get a bag. And I'm like, no, dude, you weren't. You can tell your walk. You were totally shocked that somebody called you out. And I came out, the shit was gone, and he was nowhere in sight. If he was hiding, never did see him again. So definitely I found I don't have the ability to shut up when things are going poorly, especially for somebody else. There's so much in this world, bullying. There's so much things in this world, things are happening. These people clearly heard this threat to me, which again, I don't think it's anything. I think they're chicken shit, drug addict, alcoholics that don't have the balls to do anything about it. But who knows? All it would have taken is a simple little phone call at cop shop, said, hey, would you mind calling people up? Let them know that they've now been put on notice. So in case something does happen to my vehicles, my house, my person, and that kind of stuff, they're going to be first one on the list. They might not want to dick with it. So, but these people aren't willing to stand up and say what they heard. Is most of the point. I probably wouldn't have called either way, but it's the point of the fact that these people were she was way too chipper in her remark of, no, I didn't hear or see nothing. And it pissed me off. And they had no damn clue what to think when I basically told her to get the hell off my property. So, oh well, I felt good with what I'd done. I felt like I have nothing to shame of what I'd done. I had nothing to apologize for. I know I have the right. He basically tried to tell me she had the right to say what she wants. It's a free country. And I said, yeah, and I also have the right to do what I want, and that includes removing her from the property. And as far as I'm concerned, the second you sign this paper, I could care less if I ever hear or see of you again, if that's how shitty and how wishy-washy you're going to be in your life. So I wish you no harm, but I wish you no great will. So anyway, that's what I got for today. More of a random rant, more of a bitch fest here, but that was my day. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, probably get myself some chips and salsa, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching. And if you see some out there having injustice done to them, step up. All it takes is one person maybe to make a difference in this world. So, best wishes.